Turns out caving to the woke mob isn't worth it when it affects your wallet. Shareholders at dozens of big companies from GE to UPS are voting on proposals that go against everything related to DEI and ESG as companies look to distance themselves from politics.
According to new data, through the end of last month, shareholders have voted on 70 measures opposing ESG, that's environmental, social, governance initiatives at S&P 500 companies this year. It's a stark increase from previous years.
Let's bring in XXXY Athletic founder and CEO and former Levi Strauss & Company brand president Jennifer Say, along with Strive Asset Manager, co-founder and former Anheuser-Busch president of sales and distribution, Anson Frericks. Anson, I'm going to start with you. Both of you, welcome to the show. Is this change of DEI and ESG, is this coming from shareholders, or is management of these companies saying, hey, this is bad for the bottom line, we should change course? What is the impetus for these changes?
I think it's coming from everyday investors. You've seen over the last couple of years, you've seen companies like Anheuser-Busch and Bud Light. They've lost millions of consumers, billions of dollars of shareholder value. You saw with Target last year, lost a lot of consumers, lost shareholder value. You've seen it with Disney. At the end of the day, people are coming around and seeing that ESG, it doesn't pay. It doesn't deliver real shareholder value. So finally, you're seeing shareholders stand up and say, you know what, I want to go back and I want to see what's been happening over the last couple of years, why companies have adopted these very aggressive, politicized ESG, DEI goals. Have they added value or not? It looks like they haven't. And so therefore, we need a new change in direction.
Jennifer, do you think that this change in direction is lasting? Because I know that in terms of diversity, equity, inclusion, the companies just have, many of them, like Starbucks, for example, just call it something else. They call it representation goals.
Right. Yeah, I mean, first of all, I want to say the companies are never going to admit that they are responding to these shareholder proposals, but it's exactly what they're doing. And you have to follow their actions. They're not going to admit it because it reveals the lie that is woke capitalism, that they never took these stances because they have values. They don't have values. Their values are making money. And so they cannot reveal that lie. They will just slowly pull back, as we are seeing, as Anson mentioned, you know, happening at Bud Light, happening at Target. They're rolling back some of these programs. Is it lasting? Here's what I'll say, Dig. If it works, and if they are able to refocus on the bottom line and making money and pulling back on all these activities actually gets employees focused again, then yeah, they'll stick with it. You know, absolutely. That's what they care about, making money.
Or so they used to anyway. I hope that's what they still care about. But, you know, Anson, it seems like conservative shareholders have learned from the liberals who have pushed these shareholder proposals, whether it's DEI or ESG, and they said, you know, we can use the same tactics to get rid of these policies and get the companies that we invest in to focus on the bottom line, focus on profits, focus on expanding our market share. And it seems like they're having some success, conservatives using the same tactics that the liberals used to get these crazy policies in place in corporate America.
No, Sean, you're absolutely right. I think the difference is, though, is that the so-called conservative proposals, they're actually just about the bottom line and about maximizing returns. It's not about forcing a very politicized agenda that the left has done. It's not about putting up, for example, quota systems at companies. It's not about having companies defund the police. These are what the left has done. We're not advocating for the other side of this. What a lot of these proposals are is they're actually looking at real risk that shareholders want to understand. For example, for companies that do business in China, are you actually reporting on what the risk is of doing business in China? Is your supply chain ready in case China would invade Taiwan? Do you understand those risks? And a lot of the other so-called shareholders, your large asset managers, BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard, that all do business in China, they're not actually voting for these proposals. But companies like Strive, they are. They want companies to understand their China risk. They want to understand their supply chain risk. Those are the types of proposals that are getting called anti-ESG. I just think that's good business. And I think you're going to see more of these good business proposals gain steam over the next couple of years. It's not liberal. It's not conservative. It's just good for the bottom line.
Jennifer, I always remember Lockheed Martin in recent years, sending their executives for white male privilege training. But I always thought they did that because it's good for business, because they do so much business in Washington as a defense contractor. You know what? It gets the liberals off their backs. It's like, oh, so sometimes it's upside down logic of why they pursue some of these goals.
Yeah, I mean, certainly some of this is about sort of de-risking activists who might go against them. But at the end of the day, it takes a lot of time. It takes your eye off the ball. They're not focused on making great products that consumers, I'm not talking about Lockheed Martin here, but consumer brands want to buy. And at the end of the day, that's what drives the bottom line. You know, I will say this. My brand, XXXY Athletics, we're never going to back down. It doesn't matter how many mean voicemails I get, and I get a lot of them. It doesn't matter how many mean emails. Our mission, and we're totally honest about it, is to protect women's sports. That shouldn't be political. It is, as we know. Shouldn't be right or left. For some reason it is, even though I come from the left. We want to celebrate female athletes. So, you know, there's no lie that can be revealed. We're totally honest about who we are. That's the problem, is they've been utterly dishonest about who they are.
Yep.
Back to business, back to the bottom line. I love it. Jennifer, Anson, thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate it.